I'm Larry Mahan, and I'm sitting here with the 2005 and the 2007 World's Champion Bull Rider in the PBR, Justin McBride, one of the all-time greats. And buddy, it's an honor to be here with you.
Thank you, sir. My pleasure.
Now, we're here for the unfinished business, and I've been racking my brain saying, why, after all the success you had in the game, would you come back and do it again? I said to myself, maybe it's his ego, but I know you're not an egomaniac. I said, maybe he needs the money, but the years that you won it, you won over, well, you won $1 million bonus each time.
Yeah, each time. You know, luckily I come along in an era of the PBR, you know, and so it has nothing to do with the money because, and bull riding, that was always how I made my living, but, you know, I figured I could always go get a regular job if I needed to make money. I rode bulls for something more than that. And I wish I could say it was that way for this event here, Unfinished Business, which is a crazy name to me because my business was finished. You know, I didn't get old or I didn't get crippled up or couldn't ride anymore. I quit when I felt like I was riding as good as I ever had. And I enjoyed every second of my career and I was happy with it. I'm content with my career. You know, I don't look back on it saying, oh, I wish I'd have done this or done that. I'm really proud of my career. And the bottom line, the only reason I'm competing in this event, Unfinished Business, is because J.W. Hart asked me to. This is his event, and he called me and asked me to do it, and I said okay.
Do you have any major injuries that you had to overcome and then make a comeback, and how did you make that comeback? What kind of an attitude did it take to pull your boots back on and get after it?
Yeah, I you know, and you know better than anybody, you know, you competed in all the rough stock events. You know how physically demanding it was. I was just competing in one of them professionally, and you know, but I had some injuries here and there. In 2003 in Grand Rapids, Michigan, a bull stepped on me in the short round and broke my ribs and just exploded my lung, and I had to miss the next weekend. I was still in the hospital in Grand Rapids with a tube in my side, and then I got to go home for a few days, and then it was turn around and go to the PBR finals. And at the time, I was really close in a close race with Chris Shivers, and so, you know, as soon as our doctor Tandy Freeman told me that physically I could get on, I didn't worry about it again. You know, I never said, oh, my ribs are still broke or my lungs only about the size of my thumbnail right now. I just said okay, and everything's fine. It wasn't fine, but that's what I told myself, and it's time to go compete again. And you know, and looking back on it, it hurt. You know, it hurt that week of the finals, but I was glad that, you know, that those are the things I remember. It's not all the good rides and stuff I made. I don't really remember that many of those, but it's kind of when you had to deal with a little adversity that I remember. The very next year in 2004, we go back to Grand Rapids, the exact same scenario. I'm in 1 and 2 race with Adriano Moraes, and I win the first go around, and back then they had a sponsorship challenge thing. Whoever won the first round got on this other bull, and no big wreck. Bull tipped me into my hand, bucked me off. I think I even landed kind of on my feet, jerked the rope out of my hand, and landed on my feet, and both back legs come down on my right leg and just snap it in half. And here we are again 2 weeks out from the finals. So Tandy, I fly down to Tandy, and he puts a plate and 11 screws in my leg, and I'm getting on at the finals. And of course, the first bull I get on, it snaps 2 of the screws in half that he was trying to hold the bones together with. And you know, it was hard to get around, but it didn't affect my riding any. It affected trying to run after the whistle. But you know, those were the things that I'm proud of, though, about my career, were those kind of moments. You know?
How'd you do at the finals that year?
I made the short round. In 03 with my ribs and lung, I won the first round. It come down to our last bull that Chris and I each got on. I got on a bull called Mossy Oak Mudslinger, and if I could have hand-picked one out, we didn't get to pick our bulls back then, but if I could have, that would have been the bull I would have picked. And he bucked me off that day. And he bucked me off a couple other times throughout my career, and I rode him several other times, but that day he got the best of me. And then the next year with my leg being broke, it was 8 bulls we rode at the finals that year, and I think I rode 6 out of 8. But a couple of the important ones got away, you know. So,
Justin, it seems like everything you make up your mind that you want to go try, you do it and you do it well. How do you pull that off? What does it take
Well,
to make that happen?
I don't
you
know.
love team roping now. You're a good
Yeah,
roper.
I'm hooked on that team roping, Larry. That heeling's got me, man. I can't shake it. I got to figure it out. And I think it's a little bit of a, I think it's a good thing and it's a curse. But when I find something that I really like to do, I can't just do it for a hobby. Like this healing, as you know, over the past year, I've been trying to learn how to heal, and it's really become a disease. It's all I think about, and I don't know. I'm just pretty one-track minded, and that's the thing for me. I think I never set a top for myself. I want to do the best that I can do, and I think if you set things that way, there never is a limit. Because I always feel like I can do more. I can give a little more. I can try a little harder. I can study a little harder and figure it out. What angle, on the team rope, and I got to where I know where my loop. I know what it needs to do now. Now it's all about this position, and so I don't know. It's kind of a curse.
What about family? How does your background with being able to go out there and succeed in all these other endeavors play into the family program?
Well, I think I was really fortunate as a kid that I had the parents that I did, because I had a dad that worked hard all day, every day, and that's what you were going to do. you were going to get up and go to work, and then I had a mother, bless her heart, that lied to me every day and told me how great I was. And you hear it enough, heck, you start believing it. So by the time I was 10 years old, I knew I was going to be a world champion bull rider. It was just waiting until I turned old enough to go do it. She had me believing it. And so I think I was lucky that I had that balance of somebody that really picked you up and pumped you up to go do things. But then on the other side, I had my dad that kept you very grounded and very humbled and working for everything that you did. And so I was fortunate in that respect.
How does this work for you now, being a father?
Now, I tell you, this being a dad deal is the wildest thing. This tops any bull riding or playing on the Opry or anything I've ever got to do. It's funny. I talk to Cody Lambert about it every day, and I don't know a thing about baseball. I just don't know anything. I never was into baseball. Where I grew up, we wrestled and played football. We didn't have baseball, and now my little boy is playing t-ball, and my little girl is in Coach Pitch softball. And so, man, I'm watching Sports Center all the time. I'm watching baseball games, trying to learn about this stuff, because I have so much fun watching them do it. And I want them to have the right information when I'm out there in the backyard practicing with them. I want to make sure they're doing it right, And oh man, it really is fun, and it's funny to see how they do things. It's fun to step back sometimes when they don't know you're there and watch them how they're doing things. I was trimming a horse's feet one day, and my little boy, he was out there kind of playing around, and he just walked over, and I was sweating. I put a foot down. My little boy walked over there, and he said, he was about 4 years old at the time. He said, "Dad, when I grow up, I'm going to try real hard, because that's how you win." I said, "By God, buddy, I don't know where you come up with that, but that's exactly right. That's what you got to do." And so, it's fun to see little things that you don't even realize you're doing, how it affects them. And they're like a soft piece of clay right now. You don't even realize it, but you're molding them into what they're going to become. So it's a lot of fun. I tell you, I never imagined that I would have a wife and 2 kids and get to have the life that I'm able to have now.
You're the champ.
No, you're the champ, my friend.
In and out of the arena, this man's the champ.
My heroes have always been cowboys.
You're my hero too, buddy. Thank you.
What an honor.